Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new product review, and this time I want to review with you the Heretic Astartes psychic powers. Okay, these are the powers for the sorceress from Chaos. It's for Chaos Space Marine Psychers. Okay, and it's the equivalent to what we have on the Adeptus Astartes psychic powers. Okay, so if we look them and we have review, here I will put side by side, but we will see that they have exactly the same powers, both the heretics and the allies. The only thing they're changing is the names. So let's make a review. First we have what is called Sinister, that is the equivalent to Librarius, and if you see, the first one is a Witchfire, the primary power that have range 18, strength 5, AP 3, assault 1 blast, same here. So it's a direct Witchfire power. We go to the next and we have a Malediction, so this is the 6, I go from 6 to 1, is how they are ordered. You see we have Death Hex, is the same as Null Zone, so it's a Null Zone where I will read it from this one. The target enemy unit within 24 inches, the power is in effect. All models in the target unit suffer -1 to any invulnerable save. This is cumulative with any other modifiers, but cannot be worse than 6. So here we have the same. Then we have another Malediction, the same for both, and this is this is a psychic power where is a malediction that targets an enemy psyker within 24 inches. The psyker manifesting this power rolls 2 dice and at the mastery level to the higher result. The other psyker rolls a single dice and adds the mastery level. If the enemy psyker result is higher, there is no effect. If it scores a draw or your result is higher than the enemy psyker, the target suffers a wound with no save of any kind allowed, and whilst this power is in effect, can only successfully harness Rupture. While this power is in effect, can only successfully harness warp charge points on the roll of 6. So it's really an anti-psyker. It's an anti-psyker power that you want to avoid an enemy psyker to manifest powers. Finally, if your result is at least 3 points higher than the enemy, then you also lose. They also lose a psychic power they cannot use for the rest of the battle. So we have. I was surprised. I was expecting something different, but really the powers are exactly the same. And I don't know why they did not put the same deck. It's just to put fancy names, but at the end it's the same. So we have the Sinister, that is mainly maledictions and blessings. So the diabolic strength is a blessing that targets the psyker, whilst the power is on effect add 2 to the strength, toughness, and initiative. So it's this really is like a combination of different type of things. So it's like a Swiss knife for the psyker, where you have a little bit of everything and is not specialized in anything. So if we take the next one, that is called the Armor of Hatred, and this is called the Secret Fortress, but at the end is the same power. Is a blessing that targets the psyker, whilst the power is in effect. All friendly units within 12 inches have Fearless and Adamantium Will, a special rule. In addition, whilst this power is in effect, all friendly units within 12 inches of the psyker have 4 platinum vulnerable save against wound caused by Witchfire. So this is to give protection against psyker powers to your units. We have this one that is a beam, 6/4. Yeah, it's not bad, it's not good, it's quite average. It's only 1 warp change. Then we have a blessing that targets the psyker unit while the power is in effect. The psyker and his unit can reroll failed saving throws. So not bad. And then we have what is called Heretic, and Heretic is the same as Technomancy, and we are going to have the same powers. As you can see, these are powers to boost and to defend your vehicle and to attack enemy vehicles. So this one, you try to control opponent vehicle. Okay, it's a malediction that targets a single enemy vehicle within 18 inches. Sorry. If this power is successfully manifested randomly, select one of the vehicle's weapons, and you can don't include bombs, weapons with the one use, so you cannot use the one use weapons. Then you and your opponent each roll a dice. If your opponent rolls higher, nothing happens. If the rolls are low, then the weapon can only snapshots, and if you win, you can select an enemy target and shoot with his own weapon. So, but what I want to these are, again, I will not go in depth to each one. What I will say is, if you have this deck, at the end is changing just names, but the powers are the same. So you can really use the different powers. We have the machine flames, or here it's called the flare stone. It's a focus witch fire that targets a single enemy vehicle within 18 inches. The target immediately loses these 3 hull points for each hull point that the vehicle loses. Yeah, this is one that you it's like well, I will finish. The psychic power inflicts d6. So for each hull point, the cycle inflicts d6 strength for AP6 hits with landing special rule on a single enemy unit within 12 inches. So it's represented that is tearing the armor of the vehicle away, and then with this armor is hitting the units around it. It's quite powerful. 2 charges. You damage the vehicle and then you damage the units around it. So this is quite a good power. Then we have a beam that is an anti-vehicle, is haywire, not bad. Only 1 warp change, range 18 is not bad at all. And there is not AP, so you will mainly scratch 1 hull point at the end. Then we have the flesh metal or the warp metal armor. It's a blessing that targets a friendly vehicle within 24 inches. If this power targets a vehicle unit, then add 1 to the armor values, front, side and rear of the model in that unit. If this power targets a non-vehicle unit, then while it is in effect, add 1 to the toughness. If the cycle is embarked on a transport, can use it on the transport he is embarked. So it's quite good. I think Technomancy is one of the good powers because it gives a good defense against vehicles and also give a good boosting. So if you have vehicles in your army, I think Technomancy or Heretic is quite a good one. The next one, Reforge here and Dark Invigoration, is a blessing that targets a single friendly vehicle within 24 inches. The controlling player can choose for the target vehicle either to immediately recover 1 hull point lost earlier in the battle or repair a weapon. So it's like using the power of attack marine. Not extremely good. Then we have another focus, Witchfire, the power that targets a single enemy vehicle within 19 inches. The target model suffers D3 strength, 1 AP, nothing hits with high wire. So this is quite strong. And the last one is a blessing as well. So here is called Boon of the Iron Beast, and here we call it Blessing of the Machine. It's a blessing that targets a single friendly vehicle within 24 inches. While this power is in effect, the target vehicle ignores the effects of Crew Chicken, Crew Stun damage rules, and has the power of the Machine Spirit rule. If the vehicle already has this special rule, it instead increases the ballistic skill by 1. If the cycle is embarked, you can use it only in the vehicle that you are embarked. So yeah, and then we go to the next one, what's called Fulmination on the Loyal Astartes, and it's called Ectomancy on the Heretics. The first one is just a Witchfire, range 18, strength 5, AP4, assault 6, quite a standard one, not amazing and not bad. Then we have a Blessing that targets a single non-vehicle unit within 24 inches, remove all models in the target unit except one, then swap the position of the Psyker with the model. So it's just a teleporting. So imagine that your Psyker is in a bad position, you can teleport this by another unit of your army. So it's a way to interchange the position of your Psyker with the position of one of your units. Then we have another Blessing here. It's called, we have here Ghost Storm, or we have Magnetokinesis. It's a Blessing that targets a single unit within 18 inches. Unless the target is zooming, swapping, or is locking combat, it can immediately make a move up to 18 inches. The unit can move over all other models and terrain as if they were open ground, but it cannot end its move on top of another other models or impossible terrain. Any model that starts or ends this move in difficult terrain must take a dangerous test. So this unit cannot add. So it's a way to move your units. It's like what you imagine, like what Magneto is doing in the film, that can move units by using the magnetic field. So it's like pushing a unit, and you move it 18, of course, cannot assault after movement and so on. We have then the Infernal Claws, or called also the Fist of Lightning. It's a Blessing that targets a Psyker whilst the power is in effect. The Psyker adds 1 to both strength and attack. In addition, each time the Psyker hits an enemy unit in close combat, that unit suffers additional strength 5 AP, nothing. So this is quite bad power from my point of view. I don't like too much. Then we have another Witchfire power that have a range 18, strength 5, AP4, assault 6, lethal charge, discharge and heal. Yeah, it's called the same. After this attack has been resolved against the target, roll a dice for every other enemy unit at 6 inches. So it's a power that you and then you also do on a 4+, that unit suffers D6, strength 5, AP4 hits that are allocated randomly. So you attack one unit, and then it's bouncing 2 units next to this to the objective unit. So it's quite similar to Tesla, I would say, but only bouncing on 4+ instead of 6+. The Electropulse, or the Demonic Shriek, is a Nova that have range 9, strength 1, and is highware. So it's against vehicle. So it's a deck. I don't like too much the decks that are not specialized because of the powers that are the disciplines that are not specialized, because this is a little bit of everything. So this can be useful, but I think Technomancy, or the other one that is called Heretic, it's more useful. The last one is the Electro Shield. With one word change, is a Blessing that targets a Psyker. Once the power is in effect, the Psyker has 3+ invulnerable saves. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. But I would love to see this as a Primarius. And then the last one we have is the Geomortis or Geokinesis. And it's the same for both. Again, the first one it's called Chasm or Rock Maw. The psychic power that targets an enemy unit within 18 inches of the Psyker that is not locked in combat. All models in the enemy unit must immediately take a dangerous terrain test with no armor save allowed. Invulnerable save can be taken normally. This psychic power has not effect on sweeping or zooming units. Not bad. I will say this power is not bad at all for being a Primarius with it's 2 warp changes. So it's quite expensive, but it's not bad. Because the enemy is cannot do armor saves. Shifting, this is another one. This is quite a long one. It's a psychic power that targets a single terrain feature within 24 inches of the Psyker and in the line of sight. The terrain feature must be on that must be one that can be physically pick up and place in a different location. Move the terrain onto an area of open ground anywhere on the battlefield within 24 inches of the starting position, so long as it is more than 1 inch away from other models or terrain features after the relocation is complete. Any units that have all of their models on the piece of terrain are moved with it. If a unit has only a portion of its models on the terrain feature, then before the terrain is moved, the models that occupy the terrain piece are moved off it by the player, and the same manner as a model disembarking from a vehicle, treating the edge of the terrain as access point and ending as within 6 inches of the terrain. Models moved in this way must then take dangerous terrain test. So it's interesting one. It's a way to transport your units with a dangerous terrain, but it's just a single dangerous terrain. So it's not, this power is 3 warp changes. It's very powerful, but it's quite difficult to manifest. 3 warp changes. But it's quite powerful and quite interesting one. Then we have the Warquake, is a Witchfire power that targets either a single, and it's called Warquake, and here it's called the Profane Ruination. So it's a witch powers that targets either a single building or a piece of ruins of terrain within 24 inches. If you target a building, roll a dice. On 1 to 3 the building suffers a glancing hit, on 4 6 suffers a penetrating hit. If the target is a piece of terrain or ruins, roll a dice for each unit that is even partially within those ruins. On 4 or more, that unit suffers d6 strength 6 AP nothing hits as they were struck by the falling debris. These hits are randomly allocated. I will say this is not amazing good unless the enemy is using buildings, then can really be powerful. So for me it's like an average power in that case. Not bad. Not good is only 1 word change, so what charge, so it's not that bad. Then we have the Heretic Anathema. Is a blessing that targets a single friendly unit within 24 inches. While the power is in effect, the unit has moved through cover special rule, and all of its weapons have ignores cover special rule. In addition, the unit does not need line of sight. So this is quite powerful one. I will say this discipline is quite strong. So you can shoot without line of sight, ignoring terrain, and you ignore terrain when you move. So really very interesting one, and only 1 word change. So it's a very good blessing. But I will say that almost everything is offensive or to move your units. And I have not seen anything defensive right now on Geomortis or Gioca Nexus. So the next one is called the Territorial Walls. It's a malediction that targets all enemy units within 18 inches, so it's like a Nova. While this power is in effect, the targets move as though they were in difficult terrain. Furthermore, while this power is in effect, the targets cannot run, turbo boost, or morph about. This psychic power has no effect on swooping or zooming units. Very strong as well. This is quite strong. Next one, Gioca Nexus. Sorry, it's called Rupture. It's a malediction that targets a point on the battlefield within 24 inches of the cycle. Choose the point when the power is manifested. Each unit within each 6 inches of the point immediately suffers a single Strength 5 AP4 with ignore cover special rule that is random location. In addition, while the power is in effect, all terrain, including open ground, within 6 inches of the point chosen is treated as being dangerous terrain. This is quite weak compared to the one that we have just read before. It's not that bad, but it is really specialized if you want And the polling is only dangerous terrain, and if they pass the failed dangerous terrain, they still have the armor. But this is in case you want to lock in position an enemy unit or try to minimize the movement of the unit. And the last one we have is Legacy, Leech, or it's called Earth Blood. And is blasting that targets a single friendly non-vehicle character within 18 inches. The target immediately regains these 3 wounds lost earlier in the battle. In addition, while this power is in effect, the target and all the models in their unit have "It will not die" a special rule. And it's only interesting if you have more than 1 wound, because "It will not die" will not work if you are dead. So, again, as I said, it's a deck that is a copy-paste of the loyal one, but it's quite powerful, and I will say my preferred disciplines are Heretic and maybe Geometries. I will say the next one Sinister, and for me the less interesting is Ectomancy. So here we have a new deck for the Heretics, and I was surprised that the Games Workshop just copy-paste the Adeptus Astartes psychic powers. I know both Adeptus Astartes, but one have the influence of the Dark Gods, and I was expecting something different. But this is what we find. It's not a bad deck, it's quite powerful, quite interesting, and if you play, and if you don't have the Adeptus Astartes, it's an interesting deck to have if you play Chaos, because I think it's adding quite good powers to the Chaos. If you don't have your deck in front and you are playing with friends, and your friends have this one, you can ask this one, and the powers tell them that the powers are the same. It's a repetition. And now I'm realizing that they are copying. You see, they are copying the symbols. You see, the schools are the same. Here we have the same. The back is the same. Okay, the only thing is changing. One have loyal cycles and the other have chaos cycles. That's all what I want to share in this review. Please leave your comment below. Let me know what do you think about this, that they have just put the same deck under different names, and they only just changed names, but at the end the effects are the same. And yeah, that's all for now. Please leave your comment, like if you have liked it, share if you think that someone can be interested on that. And yeah, and you can also support me in Patreon if you want to see more reviews and you want to see more painting tutorials. You can follow me in Patreon, you can support me in Patreon, and all the money collected in Patreon are just dedicated to the channel. That's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye!